What's going on, guys? It's good to have you back. We are here for another Air Force story. But before I begin, this is Memorial Weekend. Thank you to all the veterans, especially the ones that gave the ultimate sacrifice, which was their life for this country, and everybody that believes in this country. And a shout out to current military members of all branches. Shout out to my cousin and his unit. I hope they all stay safe and they protect each other. So, without further ado, here we go. Let's hope I don't mess around with the focus button. So, here we are. Like I said, we're going to jump around a little bit. We are on our way to Goldsboro, North Carolina. This is my first duty station after I got out of tech school. So, since we are bouncing around, oh yeah, we do have Ozzie with us. Yep, he's a hot dog. Yeah, we're going to take him to the park, right? You going to go to the park? Yep. He is going to go to the park. He's going to be a happy dog, and he's going to be a worn out dog. So, to give you an idea, I think this story, what I'm basically going to do is I am basically going to talk about what the base was like. Now, this is my first duty station. A little bit nervous, but to give you an idea of what I was possibly going to expect, one of my tech school instructors was from that base. So when they started handing out, I think they did it in our fourth or fifth week or something like that, they started handing out people's orders, and then you basically had to put where you were going on your in front of you. And as soon and I want to think the other instructor was from there too, or had been there, or it was one of his duty stations, but I think the other instructor, I think that was the duty station that he left to become an instructor. So they both look at me and they're like, "Oh, you're going to Seymour Johnson Air Force Base." Which, the tone in their voice didn't really sound good. It didn't make me, I mean, me personally, before they even said anything like that, I didn't really care where I was going to go. I just wanted to go somewhere because I thought, going around and experiencing different things, different parts of the country, that interested me. The only place I really did not want to go was freaking Minot, North Dakota, because it's freaking cold. And it's also a heavy base, I believe. And if you don't know what a heavy base is where you fill up, you're refueling 135s, 130s, RCs, things like that. The bigger C-17s. I don't know what they actually have there, but I know they got the freaking heavies there. I want to think they're 135s. So, and you'd be out there on a hose cart filling that thing up, and I don't like to be cold, so that wasn't one of my choices. But you basically go where they need you. So I was hoping that I wasn't going to go there. So the first thing that they tell me is they say, when you get there, there's going to be a tech sergeant there that stole somebody's idea and got step promoted to tech. And I'm like, oh my God. So this is the freaking place that I'm going to where people are only freaking interested in themselves. And that actually turned out to be pretty true, especially up at the higher levels and things like that. They were really only interested in making themselves look good instead of putting that effort towards the airmen and the NCOs and things like that. That's a different story. That's another story, but we'll get to that one. So right off the bat, they're already telling me that the structure out there is not very good. So I get out there. I mean, it's, as far as the base goes, the base layout and things like that, the golf course was nice. I did utilize that many times. The dorms were nice. Our dorm, the supply dorm, oh man, we were, our dorm, there was our dorm, which was supply, and then right next to our dorm, I think, was part supply and part, I can't remember, but I think they had supply in there as well. And right in between was Class 6. And if you don't know what Class 6 is, you know, for non-military members, Class 6 is where you basically get any type of alcohol, beer, wine, liquor, anything, and it's right there. Now, at this time, I am 20, I think. Yes, I'm 20 years old at the time, so I can't even utilize Class 6 anyway. Oh, look at that. There's a couple MGBs in there. Oh, man. They weren't worth stopping and looking. So as far as the base went, you know, it was okay. The base was nice. You know, as far as all the structure went and things like that, you know, it was a little disappointing. Let's see, what else can we talk about that base? I've only and ever been to fighter bases. I've never been stationed at a heavy base. So that was actually a good thing for me because I enjoy to constantly be moving in those, and they did a lot of training. So that was a plus. Oh, let's see, what else? Well, I mean, as far as the times went, you know, the days off, hanging out with everybody, getting to know everybody, that was actually pretty cool. A lot of cool freaking dudes. You know, especially, you know, senior airmen and below, which was basically E4 and below. There were a couple E5s that were pretty freaking cool. Especially out of work. They were the type of individuals that were, hey, work is work, and, you know, outside work, we're cool. You know, I mean, don't discuss stuff, but, you know, but outside, you know, we're cool and things like that. You know, you can basically talk to them like a real person. But as far as, there were a couple E6s that were pretty cool. Maybe one no, Sergeant Pollard was pretty freaking badass. He was a cool dude. He was an E7. He was a Master Sergeant. That dude was freaking, that dude was cool. we will get into Sergeant Pollard. Sergeant Pollard was a cool guy. And just want to mention him real quick because, you know, we will be doing a story about him. So he will come up again. Funny story on that one, too. And better yet, it involves that tech sergeant that stole that idea. So it was basically, it'll be a story with both of them in it. So hopefully I can remember it. I should be able to remember it, because if I can't remember it, all I got to do is watch this video, right? Yeah. So don't even really need to write it down. All I got to do is watch my silly self say, oh yeah, that's right. Had some good times in North Carolina. What else did we do? There was, and I think it's still there, there was a beer bar. This was when I turned 21. There was a beer bar right outside of the base called Wanda's, and I'd go in there, have like 3 or 4 beers in about like 3, 4, 5 hours. I'd leave at like 2 in the morning, and I'd play that freaking game to where you just choose what's wrong between the 2 pictures. Be nice if that game is still in there, because I got so good at that game I actually was able to get on the freaking high score list. There was another bar. That's a good story. There was another bar that we went to. Oh, we used to go to Greenville a lot. That is where I think ECU is. ENC, East North Carolina. I can't remember. But we used to go down there a lot. Another good story that just popped up. I'll tell you about the time that I actually got to go see AC/DC. So that was pretty cool. That was a shocker on that one. Just heading down to Greenville. I was by myself. Yeah, because my friend took leave and was in Alabama for a week. So I'll tell you about that story. That's a pretty cool story. I can't remember whether or not I was 21 at the time or not. So got a lot of good stories to tell. Hanging out, doing silly stuff. Talk about big rubber. It's not a condom. It's a truck. All you dirty mind thinkers. So, oh, what else we got? I think that'll do it about that one. So, just to give you a little bit of a background on my first base, was in Goldsboro, North Carolina. Hanging out at Wanda's. Oh, that other bar that we used to hang out with, that is going to be a good story, because my wife and I had been married for 2 weeks and somebody was already hitting on her. So that'll be a fun story to tell. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed me giving you a little bit of a background on Goldsboro and hanging out with me, and, you know, listening to the tale of, you know, coming out there. So, and I'll share, you know, just to give you, you know, a little bit of a heads up, you know, on the future stories and things like that. So I don't think they'll allow me to film the base from a distance. I don't think any of the jets are going to be flying this weekend anyway. So, you know, I'm not going to be able to really show the base when we get there. But if the park that we're going to go to looks pretty good, I'll pop out the camera and show you around at the time. So, alright guys, take it easy. Thanks for hanging out, and like, share, and subscribe. And like I said, the Happy Memorial Day to everybody. Please stay safe. If you're going to drink, have a designated driver. And I'm pretty sure all of you know when you've had too much. At least you should. Alright, take it easy. Have a good 3-day weekend, if a majority of you do have a 3-day weekend. Alright, take it easy. Peace.